Okay, so now we're on the back of the paper. We're going to do 9, 11, and actually I'll be talking about some of those evens also while I'm doing those. We'll be doing 13 and 15. Okay, so the directions on the back section say, use your knowledge of translations on the parent function. Remember, that's that basic parabola. It starts here and goes like that. It's not shown here, but that's what it looks like. And we're going to match each graph with the correct equation. So I'm looking at B. Graph B is right here. For that to happen, we know the parent function is y equals x squared. For this to happen and drop down below the origin, I'm going to have minus some number. I don't know what that number is. Maybe it's who knows what. But minus, and there's going to be some number there. Let's take a look at my options. This option is a plus 0.5. That doesn't make any sense. And this option is a plus 2. Okay? You know, it just makes sense for me to do all these for you guys, honestly. The 0.5, which one went up about half? Well, this one went up some, and this one went up more, right? So this must be the 0.5, because it went up just a little bit. Sorry, 0.5. And the one that went up a lot has got to be the plus 2. So let's go ahead and do all these. A is going to be right here. It's going to be the y equals x squared plus 0.5. D right here is going to be the y equals x squared plus 2. Okay? Because it went up more, it has to be a bigger number right here. Okay, this one went down a little bit, and this one went down more. So the one that's minus 3 is the one that went down a little bit. That's graph B. And the one that went down even more has to be a bigger number. It went down further. So y equals x squared minus 5. So that's all of them. Just by looking at that n number, you can tell, and compare the graphs, you can tell which is which. Okay, let's do 2 more and we're done. 13. Which of the following equations describes the quadratic parent function? And when you read that, you're thinking this, y equals x squared. That is the quadratic parent function. Okay? After it has been reflected across the x-axis and shifted 2 units down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clear out my calculator. You don't need a calculator to do this, but if you have one, you can check it. I'm going to go ahead and put my parent function, y equals x squared. That is the picture in your mind when you read quadratic parent function. Now they want 2 things to happen. They want it to reflect across the x-axis. What does that mean? It means it goes from this way to flipping the other way. It's going to be like this. Same exact graph, but now it's going downwards. What has to happen for it to do that? You have to add a negative in front of the x squared. When I put that negative, look, it flips the other way. So look at my answer choices. This one doesn't have a negative. That's wrong. And this one doesn't have a negative in front. That's wrong. What else has to happen? It has to shift 2 units down. Okay, we already talked about that. You have to put a minus 2 on there. Let's go ahead and go back to my equation. Let's double click it and let's try it out. I'm going to put a subtract 2 right there to see if it shifts 2 units down. It does. It just jumped down 2 units. If I had put the plus 2 on there, it would have gone the wrong way. Let's change it real quick. If I put the plus 2 there, it made it jump 2 units up. Okay, so we don't want it to jump 2 units up. We want it to jump 2 units down. So it's B. Number 15. Which of the following equations would make y equals x squared narrower? You know what's great about multiple choice questions? You can just put them in the calculator and see. I'm going to start back with my parent function, y equals x squared. Now I'm going to type in choice A. I don't think it's going to work. In fact, we learned that negatives flip it upside down. It doesn't make it narrower or wider. But I'm going to go ahead and put it in. Y equals negative x squared. It did flip upside down. It did not get narrower. Okay, so I don't like that choice. I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to erase it and put another one in. B says 5x squared, so let's put in 5x squared. It did get narrower. That's the right answer. Okay, if I put plus 5, that's not going to work. Let's change the 5x squared to a plus 5 to see what happens. Oh, that's the wrong one, sorry. I'm going to get rid of that 5, and I'm going to put a plus 5 on the end instead. That just makes the whole thing move up 5. It didn't get, it looks like it got narrower, but there's just less on the screen showing, so it did not get narrower. Lastly, if I make it a 0.5, it's going to make it wider. Let's look at that one together. 0.5. The number smaller than 0. The smaller the number in front, that's called the A value. The smaller that is, the wider the graph gets. So to make it narrower, we were right in choosing choice B. Okay, I'll be doing more videos, so stay tuned.